guys, welcome back to Ivy Rose Knows. So this is a video reply to a comment. The comment is from Lisa5387. Her comment is this right here. Yes, I agree 100%. Her knuckles on both hands were bruised at the index and middle fingers. Go look at the pics and you will see the bruises. Why isn't anyone talking about that? I agree with you, Lisa. I don't know why a lot more people aren't talking about the fact that when Gypsy Rose was picked up and they took pictures during her interrogation, the knuckles on both of her hands were bruised. Where you would punch somebody and get that impact from, those areas on both knuckles on both of her hands were absolutely bruised. And if you look at the picture right here, they are swollen a little bit. I don't know why people aren't talking more about that. She's never addressed it. Not very many people have addressed it. Not in interviews with Dr. Phil or anybody else has anybody ever asked her, why when you were picked up were your hands and knuckles bruised? Now, I can tell you why I believe that her hands were bruised. I believe that Dee Dee was in fact a victim of Gypsy for more time than people think. I don't think that one moment of the killing was the only time that Dee Dee was a victim of Gypsy. I believe that Dee Dee was always a victim of Gypsy, okay? I believe that she was harming her. And again, this is all alleged. This is what I believe, but I do believe that she was harming her and inflicting harm upon Dee Dee, especially towards the end, okay? Gypsy got a lot more out of hand. She already knew that her mother was going to be killed, all right? They already had this plan in place for Dee Dee. Now, if you remember, nobody saw them the day before. Not the neighbors who said they usually come out and get the mail. Nobody saw them the day before the murder actually happened. And the mail was still in the mailbox. Nobody saw them like they usually would every morning. I believe that Dee Dee was in that house with Gypsy and that Gypsy was, well, you know what I believe Gypsy was doing, okay? Now, Gypsy, I believe, always had control over Dee Dee. And what makes me believe that? Well, I'll tell you what makes me believe that. Do you guys remember her having pulled the BB gun on Dee Dee, okay? And then if you read her book, you remember her saying that not only did she pull a BB gun on her and that she didn't know it was a BB gun, right? But she said that she pulled both a BB gun and a knife on her that day and that she got her and backed her into the corner. I'm going to tell you what I believe. I absolutely believe that Gypsy knew that that gun was a BB gun. I don't believe that she was going to kill her at that time. I believe she wanted to inflict pain on her, and she wanted to make sure that Dee Dee knew that Gypsy was in control. Because let's be real, if she felt like she was in so much danger, that she was so upset, that she needed to, go after Dee Dee, well, then she would have killed her. She had the knife right there in her hand. So you can't sit there and be like, I let open all of the, all the rounds of this BB gun, not realizing it was a BB gun because I was just at that point, but you had a whole knife in your hand. So if you really wanted to kill her, you would have killed her, right? But she didn't. And it's not because she wanted to kill her, because ultimately she wanted Dee Dee dead, but she did not want to take the blame for it. Gypsy did not want to be the one to take the blame for the murder. And so she couldn't murder Dee Dee herself, right? So I believe that she shot her with that BB gun just to inflict pain and to maintain control over Dee Dee, like she always did. To show Dee Dee, I am the one in control, not you. This is how we're going to play this. That is what I believe. And I believe that was also happening right there before the murder, which is why she had the bruises on her knuckles. Now, again, we know that when she murdered Dee Dee, that her intent was always to solely blame Nick, right? It was just Nick. Nick did it. She was never going to take the blame. Nick got there, okay, and she had no clothes on. She did just the way the whole thing happened. It was obvious that she was just trying to blame Nick. She tried to play that Nick manipulated her. I don't believe that, okay? Now, if you remember initially when they were planning the murder of Dee Dee, Gypsy said to Nick, you don't have to wear gloves. We'll just ditch the knife into the water, into a lake somewhere, right? Whatever body of water she was going to dump it into. But she originally told that to Nick, that you don't have to wear gloves. And Nick insisted and said, no, I'm wearing gloves. Now, she didn't want Nick to wear gloves because she wanted to blame Nick for the murder. She wanted her mother dead, but she did not want to be the one responsible, and she did not want to be the one to spend any time in jail. And so she was going to blame Nick the entire time. We know this, right? But that is why she did not kill Dee Dee beforehand. That is why she shot her with that BB gun. In my opinion, she knew it was a BB gun because she didn't want to kill her at that time. She didn't want to be the one responsible for the murder. She just wanted to make sure that Dee Dee knew that she was maintaining control over the situation. She was threatening her, and I believe she was doing that for quite some time. And again, this is just my opinion. That is why I believe the knuckles. I believe she was in there maintaining control over Dee Dee the entire day before the murder. I believe that she was hitting her, becoming physically violent with her. You know, I believe that that's what was happening that entire day. I believe that she was pretty damn worn out by the time Nick got there and she was in bed when he stabbed her. Now, I also believe that Gypsy stabbed her mother as well, but I do believe that that's why her knuckles were bruised, because I believe she was in there that day before maintaining control over Dee Dee. She knew what was coming the next day, or at least that night. She knew what was coming that night of the 9th, early morning, the 10th. She knew Dee Dee was not going to be alive anymore. Now, she couldn't kill her because then she would be blamed. Maybe. But she was in there maintaining control and being physically violent with her. We see that she has violent tendencies. Look how she acts. Look at her coping skills or lack thereof. We know that she's capable of all of this. So I don't know why more people aren't talking about the bruises on her knuckles or what their theory is behind the bruises of her knuckles, but that is my theory on why her knuckles were bruised. And I have talked about this quite a few times, and I will continue talking about it because I believe the bruises on her knuckles shows people that she was physically violent with Dee Dee before the night of the murder, and that she was not so scared and this abused little victim of her mother, that it was the roles were actually reversed. I do believe that Dee Dee was the victim of Gypsy, especially during the end time there, as Gypsy got older. So yeah, Lisa, I completely agree with you. I appreciate your comment so much. I agree, we need to talk about the knuckles more. I would love to hear everybody's reasoning on what you think about the bruises. Why do you think they're there? What are your theories on it all? Maybe you guys will bring something to my attention that I don't know. So please, look at the picture, think about it, and let me know what you think. Why do you think her knuckles were bruised that day when she was picked up and interrogated? Let me know. I look forward to seeing the comments. And again, look out more for these video responses because I got a lot more coming. I appreciate you guys so much. Please like this video. Please subscribe to the channel. And guys, click that bell because I got a lot going on YouTube and I'm so excited for it. And I will talk to you later. Again, Lisa 5387. I appreciate your comment and I'll talk to you later.